Hello, and thank you for your interest in the Interstate 5 Managed Lanes project from State Route 55 to the Orange Los Angeles County line. In this video, we'd like to provide you with a brief overview of the scope of the project and introduce some background information. The program for this video consists of 4 topics. The first is the project overview, where we will introduce the I-5 Managed Lanes project, including the location and a brief explanation as to why this project is needed and the timeline. Second, we will then present the proposed project alternatives and move into a more detailed description of the improvements being proposed for this project. Third, we'll describe the environmental process and comment review period. And finally, we'll let you know how to stay involved throughout the duration of the project. Let's begin with the project overview, which dives into the project description, location, purpose and need, and project timeline. The I-5 Managed Lanes project is proposing managed lanes improvements in both directions on Interstate 5, between Red Hill Avenue, just south of State Route 55, to 0.5 miles north of the Orange and Los Angeles County line. This 15-mile stretch of Interstate 5 traverses through the cities of Tustin, Santa Ana, Anaheim, Orange, Fullerton, Buena Park, and La Mirada, and has at least one high-occupancy vehicle lane in each direction. It also goes through large areas of businesses, shopping, and tourism, such as the Santa Ana Civic Center, Platinum Triangle, and Disneyland Resort area, just to name a few. Currently, the project corridor also includes 3 major freeway-to-freeway interchanges at State Route 55, the State Route 22 and 57 interchange, and State Route 91. Before we dive any deeper into project details, let us explain to you what the managed lanes term in our project name means. Managed lanes refer to a variety of special use highway lanes that include high occupancy vehicle lanes, or HOV lanes, that are restricted to vehicles with a driver and 1 or more passengers to encourage ride sharing. They also can include high occupancy toll lanes, or HOT lanes, that have price, occupancy, and access restrictions. In addition, managed lanes are known as express lanes, which are dedicated lanes within highway rights-of-way that drivers may choose to use by paying a toll or for free by meeting a minimum vehicle occupancy requirement. Finally, managed lanes can also mean truck-only toll lanes that are tolled highways available only to trucks. Now, a little more about express lanes. Express lanes concepts use tolls to improve travel reliability by tolling 1 or 2 lanes, leaving other lanes toll-free. Tolls can vary based on congestion levels and other operating metrics, ensuring the lanes remain reliable for those who choose to use them. There are several examples of managed lanes in and around Southern California, such as the 91 express lanes in Orange and Riverside counties. Our proposed project is part of the larger network of these managed lanes in Southern California. Now let's talk about the purpose and need of the project. The purpose of the proposed project is to improve the overall movement of people and goods along this section of Interstate 5 by improving the managed lanes network operations, improving mobility and trip reliability, maximizing person throughput by facilitating efficient movement of bus and rideshare users, and applying technology to help manage traffic demand. The need or deficiency of the project is that the existing Interstate 5 HOV lanes within the project limits experience HOV degradation, demand that exceeds existing capacity, and operational deficiencies. Funding for the project approval and environmental phase of this project comes from state and federal funds, as well as Senate Bill 1, which is the Roads Repair and Accountability Act of 2017. Under SB 1, the project is primarily funded by the SHOP program, which is the State Highway Operation and Protection Program. Based on conceptual analysis during a preliminary phase, 4 preliminary alternatives, including 3 build and the no-build alternative, are under consideration. The build alternatives propose to modify the existing HOV lanes within the project limits to address capacity and operational deficiencies. The project approval and environmental phase of the project is just getting underway now. By summer of 2023, we will have completed the draft project report and environmental document, These two documents will be finalized by winter 2023. Thereafter, the design for plans, specifications, and estimates phase will begin winter 2023, with construction anticipated to begin in 2026. Caltrans is preparing a project report, which is a decision document approved by Caltrans, an environmental document, which will be an environmental impact report, and environmental assessment. In addition, Caltrans will also be preparing an equity study to understand the benefits and impacts to underserved and overburdened communities. Traffic studies in preparation will include a concept of operations and a traffic and revenue study. In this part of the video, we'll be discussing the proposed project alternatives that we briefly introduced. Based on conceptual analysis, 4 preliminary alternatives, including 3 build and the no build alternative, are under consideration. As mentioned, the build alternatives propose to modify the existing HOV lanes within the project limits. Alternative 1, or the no build alternative, does not include any improvements to the existing lane configuration for Interstate 5. Under the no build alternative, no new general purpose lanes, managed lanes, or new connections would occur on Interstate 5. Alternative 2, or the high occupancy vehicles 3+ alternative, would modify existing HOV minimum occupancy requirements from the existing 2+ to 3+ passengers between Red Hill Avenue and the Orange-Los Angeles County line. Under this alternative, all existing roadway features would remain the same. However, sign panels and pavement delineation modifications would be updated to reflect the latest standards and guidelines. There also would be no right-of-way impacts anticipated under this alternative. Alternative 3, or the converted to express lanes alternative, would convert existing HOV lanes to express lanes between Red Hill Avenue and the Orange-Los Angeles County line. Alternative 4A is the converted and expanded express lane alternative. Like Alternative 3, this alternative would also convert the existing HOV lanes to express lanes between Red Hill Avenue and the Orange-Los Angeles County line. However, this alternative would also construct an additional express lane between State Route 57 and State Route 91. Alternative 4B is also referred to as the converted and expanded express lane alternative. Like Alternative 3, this alternative would also convert the existing HOV lanes to express lanes between Red Hill Avenue and the Orange-Los Angeles County line. Unlike Alternative 4A, however, this alternative would continue the construction of an additional express lane all the way to the Orange-Los Angeles County line. The environmental phase of the project is just getting underway with the scoping phase, and it involves many stakeholders such as public agencies and you, the general public. Caltrans is the lead agency for both CEQA and NEPA. Caltrans will be preparing an environmental impact report pursuant to CEQA and an environmental assessment pursuant to NEPA. Prior to initiating technical studies, public participation is critical. In addition to ongoing public engagement and outreach that will occur throughout the current project phase, the scoping period is the first step in the public engagement process. The scoping period is conducted prior to Caltrans initiating the preparation of technical studies and environmental document. During scoping, Caltrans can provide information to resource agencies, stakeholders, and the public regarding the I-5 Managed Lanes project, and solicit feedback on the range and breadth of issues. Public scoping meetings are being held in person and virtually to inform you about the project and give you an opportunity to provide comments or concerns. Your comments during the scoping period will become part of the public record and will be considered in developing the environmental document and defining the project scope. The purpose of the environmental phase is to explore the effects of the I-5 Managed Lanes project on the physical, human, and natural environment. Caltrans will evaluate all environmental, social, and economic impacts of the construction and operation of the proposed project. Technical studies will be completed over the next year, and conclusions of these studies will be discussed in the environmental document. As part of the environmental phase, we will also explore how the project can create equitable outcomes. This means we will identify underserved and overburdened communities impacted by the project, both freeway users and residents living immediately near the freeway. We seek to understand how to improve their access and experience with I-5 managed lanes. Part of our process will be able to engage these communities directly, listen to their needs and vision, and use their experiences to inform recommendations. Recommendations from the equity study will be incorporated as part of the project's mitigation strategy. Overall, our goal is to acknowledge and address inequities proactively. So where are we now with the environmental document? We are in the scoping period, which began on May 9th and continues through June 8th, 2022. Next, Caltrans will be preparing technical studies and the environmental document. The draft environmental document will be publicly circulated for review and comment in summer of 2023, at which point public comments will become part of the public record and responded to in the final environmental document in late 2023. Let's see how you can stay involved. During the current scoping phase, we encourage you to submit a comment and have your voice heard. There are several ways to submit comments by June 8th, 2022. You can send a handwritten letter to the address shown on the screen. You can email I-5 Managed Lanes Project at dot.ca.gov using the subject line I-5 Managed Lanes Project, or submit an online comment via the Caltrans I-5 Managed Lanes Project website. And lastly, if you're watching this video on the day of the scoping meeting, you can also submit a comment with a court reporter. Please remember the deadline to submit comments for the I-5 Managed Lanes Project scoping period is June 8th, 2022. We encourage you to review project details and stay up to date on project milestones by visiting the Caltrans I-5 Managed Lanes Project website and following us on social media at Caltrans OC. The entire team here at Caltrans District 12 in Orange County looks forward to continuing our discussion surrounding this project.